Welcome to AP Language and Composition for the 2020 to 2021 school year. The goals for this course are twofold. On the side of the AP curriculum, we work on the test material throughout the year. As I'm sure you experienced over the summer, we begin with 3 essays that mirror the 3 discrete writing tasks that appear on the exam. We mix in tasks driven by literature and writing that appear in the American Lit curriculum that mirror exam tasks over the course of the year, as well as released exam content, as well as some released multiple choice content. So by the time the exam rolls around, usually the 3rd Wednesday in May, students are more than prepared. So the average score from my class over the past 5 years is 4.6 something. So if your student takes that work seriously, the odds of a qualifying score of a 5 or a 4 are extremely good. I am always available for additional help with a student who, based on his practice work, is unlikely to achieve that metric, which is almost certainly not going to be the case. But should it be the case, that is something I'm willing to provide one-on-one help for with the exam. On the American Lit side of the curriculum, what we are working to do is to mirror the sort of literary analysis that takes place at the undergraduate level through a survey of American literature. We move through the Puritan beginnings of the American macro culture, with the writing coming out of the Massachusetts Bay Colony in the 17th century, move to Transcendentalist and American Romantic thought in the early and mid-19th century, and then take some time with American Renaissance writings, most importantly, Moby Dick, which is the primary text for the first quarter, and we will be beginning here in a few days' time. So this is the first week of September. We will be starting Moby Dick next Tuesday. With regard to the second quarter, we come up for air from Moby Dick, spend some time with short fiction from the American Realist and American Naturalist movements, both from the last few decades of the 19th century. Then we take a few weeks and look at nonfiction writing from the last decade of the 19th century, where we're examining through essays and investigative journalism of that time how the discourse and basic social dynamics that we inhabit now are largely set during that 10-ish year period where the American urban center takes its current form. That is an easy crossover to a lot of more advanced skills that prepare students to do very well on the AP exam. So we spend about 2.5 to 3 weeks just diving into that decade. We pivot ahead to the other side of World War I and look at American modernism, using The Sound and the Fury to dig into that. That's also our primary text in terms of Southern literature. We also, in that quarter after The Sound and the Fury, get to Savage Inequalities and take as a nonfiction text a look at the American education system in the late 20th century. This dovetails with the work of the third quarter, where students are examining the tension between The Great Gatsby and Their Eyes Were Watching God, and returning to the fundamental questions of American identity that they explored over the summer. So with some more skills and experience under their belt, they loop back to that central question at the heart of the course about what it is to be an American. So slightly easier to read texts, more complex work. And we take a little bit to decompress with the things they carried, do some creative writing, and get some exposure to the postmodern narrative techniques that are on display in that novel. We conclude the year with Infinite Jest and the New Sincerity movement that opens up at the end of the 20th century before ratcheting down so students can focus on the exam and then do some creative video work at the end of the year. General policies. These are all in the syllabus. If you have questions about any particulars, please shoot me an email. The most important thing in this course, given the pace and the hybrid or online learning arrangement, is that your son has a planner, uses a planner, whether that's electronic or hard, and communicates. This has not been a problem so far with this group, and I don't imagine that it will be, but given the volume of work, communication is absolutely critical. Nothing else here really jumps out as a problem that I have encountered with AP students, but should you have any questions, please do let me know, and encourage your sons to keep good organized calendar of tasks and to communicate as often and as much as is needed. In terms of reaching me, email is best. Feel free to also leave me a voicemail if that's better for you. Please make sure to include a return number so that I can get back to you via telephone if that's the best format to reach you. You can expect that I will reply within 24 hours for email communication. If you do send me an email late in the day on Friday, you can expect that I'll return that by the end of the day on Sunday. So I'm really looking forward to sharing this work with your sons. I find that this is a really transformative set of literature for youngsters, and I am just excited to watch them grow as men and as students.